Hey guys! Thanks for coming back to my channel. I appreciate it. I wanted to go over a schedule of a self-employed artist and just let you know what I do day to day. I know a lot of people who work for other companies wonder what a schedule would look like. How would you go about creating your own? There's several ways to go about being a self-employed artist. One of the local artists here, she says that she's a professional gig worker just because she's going from gig to gig. So me coming from the background of working in insurance and learning how to create schedules and planning and marketing, this is just my take on how I go about my schedule as a self-employed artist. So I'm gonna try to make it brief, and by brief, that probably means closer to 15 minutes. I hope not 30 minutes. More than 10 minutes. Yeah, absolutely. But I hope it's helpful. If you have questions, put it in the comments and we'll go from there. Um, so, I do want to say one of the things that I have to work around, or I guess I come up with my monthly schedule and my quarterly schedule. We're not going to get into the quarterly planning. Yeah, I also typed out my own planner because I'm not going to pay for another planner that has an hourly thing. Those are expensive. This was $2 to print at the library. I'm a sucker for the library. Whoop, whoop. But I'll go through my monthly setup and I'll also show a picture of that. And for this month, along for the next 2 months, is quarter two of the year. And this is what my quarter looks like. And then next quarter, I might come up with another one. I might stick to it. There's certain things that I need to keep in mind. I partner or I work for the Galveston Art Center. And there's certain things that I just can't freely move around, right? It involves me, it involves the Galveston Art Center, it involves the other places that I go to. So I can't just move those around. So whenever I plan out my schedule, I need to make sure those are implemented. So this involves teaching classes on Monday evenings. This involves teaching classes Wednesday day and Wednesday evenings. And this involves teaching classes Thursday and also Friday. They don't take my whole days, they just take a couple hours. But what can easily happen is, oh, I did something today, I don't need to do anything more. That's wrong. Nope. Because if I just did that, I wouldn't be doing enough, especially as a starting artist. I have to do more. So Mondays, I have my YouTube automatically set to release. I have already pre-programmed videos that are on hold, and on Mondays, the first one will come out for the week at 9 o'clock on the dot. I also have my gym because it's important to take care of myself. So one of the perks of being self-employed is you can schedule those things. My son's at work, my husband's at work. I don't have the mom guilt of not being involved at home, but I'm gonna go work out. I gotta take care of my body. So I have that for my Mondays. For also Monday, I teach classes at a hospital, and that's from 1 to 3. And then in the evenings, I teach classes for women recovering from troubles, and that's in the evenings from 5:30 to 7:30. That's a whole days of work, right? I'm not gonna get home and be done with my day till 7:30. But I justify that because I'm gonna be spending my time at the gym in the morning. So there's a good balance there. On Tuesdays is my YouTube days. If I don't work on Tuesdays, this platform gets far behind fast. That's what happened for February and March is something always seemed to happen in my personal life that I just kept telling myself, okay, I'll do this next Tuesday. And it just kept getting more and more and more behind. So on my Tuesdays, I record 2 to 3 videos and then I edit those videos, which takes a lot of time. And then I set those up to come out for the following Mondays or Thursdays, whatever it falls on. Wednesdays, I network consignment. So I reach out to local businesses and I introduce myself. I ask them if they would like to have my art in their store, and I tell them a little bit about myself. And then I also follow up with the boutiques that I reached out to the weeks prior. If I don't have that scheduled in my calendar, I'm not going to get to it. So I have to get to it, right? Because it's in my calendar. And if I still don't get to it, then I acknowledge that I'm being irresponsible and I'm not giving myself an opportunity to be successful in my art. Also on Wednesdays is back to the gym. So first thing in the morning, 9 o'clock, after I drop my son off to school, I have to go to the gym. I owe it to myself. I owe it to my brain. I owe it to my peace. Gotta do it. I also teach classes for 2 hours during the day and then 2 hours in the evening. In between that hour gap, that's whenever I would either create something new, or I would do outreach to my clients, or I would do research for different ways to be better. I'm always doing something in that time. I'm not just being lazy, because when I clock out, quote unquote, clock out, I get to clock out without feeling guilty, like, oh, I'm not doing enough. I get to put my phone away for the evening and know I did what I was supposed to and then some. On Thursdays, my YouTube releases at 9 o'clock in the morning. I teach for 3 hours at the local hospital to patients that are in there. And then that leaves me available for the rest of the day by, what time is it? Because this is incorrect. By 2 o'clock. So that means I have from 2 o'clock till 5 o'clock or till my son gets home, whichever, because it's flexible, because I'm self-employed artist, to figure out something. So lately what I've been doing is that's the time where I'll type out emails to now prospect for murals. So I'll reach out to local shops where I think, hey, I think I could do something really nice with your business. Here's who I am. And I have to research, I have to type everything up, things like that. I also use that time to create and update my website. If you don't keep on top of these things that you incorporate for yourself, it's really easy for them to slide and get out of control. And you're not going to be successful, or you might be if you have luck, but statistically, you're not going to be successful if you're not organized. And then on Saturday, it's something different every Saturday, but I at least do 4 hours of something. It could be art walk in the evenings. It could be doing my t-shirts for 4 hours. It could be creating. It could be doing a workshop. And it's just for 4 hours. Then the rest of that, my weekend is mine, along with my Sunday. So let's acknowledge a couple of things. My Monday, every Monday for 3 months, is the same thing. My Tuesday, every Tuesday for 3 months, is the same thing. My week for the next 3 months is the same thing. And I do it for 3 months at a time. It's because I'm not going to get overwhelmed. And if I fall off my horse, I have an opportunity to re-gear and set a new path in that 3 month time. If I did this for a year, I'm easily going to get overwhelmed and I'm going to start doubting myself, because 12 months is a really long time to do the same thing over and over again. A lot of things change, a lot of opportunities come along, and you're just setting yourself up for failure right off the bat. So I recommend just 3 months, but you have to stick to something and write it down, type it out. It's super simple. You don't need to get fancy books. You don't need to get all of these crazy things. You just need to do something every single day. Whatever it is, it's up to you. But do something and keep to a routine and a pattern. I also want to acknowledge that, excuse me, with this schedule, apart from Mondays, which is my late day, but I also start late, so that's nice. I don't have the whole working till nighttime every day. I get to do things with my husband and my son. I get to cook dinner. I get to clean the house. I get to do all those things that are important to my home life. I get to go to town with the family. I get to bike around, right? And I still know that I'm doing my business and my routine. So that's really my schedule, and I've been doing it. It seems to work. It helps a lot just knowing that I'm not doing too much of one thing and not enough of the other. It has a nice balance and it's set in stone. I also have on my planner my week's drawn out. So I have Monday, or like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, all the way to 7 o'clock because of that one late day that I'm working. And I have that set up just in case one thing changes that week. And I'm talking to a potential client and I know when I can do my commissions, and I have it written out when my availability is to draw. That's not getting in the way of creating YouTube or teaching classes. So I have a monthly calendar and a week by week, hour by hour calendar. Again, I didn't splurge on it. I have an old binder that I'm using, and I printed these papers from the library for quarter by quarter, and it only comes out to a couple dollars to print it out instead of going through a company that's not suited to my lifestyle, that's not suited to my career, because art is not a very mainstream career. So I need something that works for me, and this works for me. And I hope it shows you that it can work for you if you're dedicated enough. That's the key, is if you're dedicated enough. I hope this helps you. It's not that hard. It's not rocket science, as so they say, but it's one of those things that you don't know till you know, right? You wouldn't know that it would be best to set up a schedule. You wouldn't know that you need to have a balance. You wouldn't know all the things you need to incorporate, which is why it comes to the quarter by quarter planning. You wouldn't know that you should plan quarter by quarter instead of a whole year at a time. So those are little things that I hope help you. They've helped me. And if there's anything you guys have questions for, absolutely ask away. I do want to let you know that I now have merch. Whoop, 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 whoop. I finally figured out how to use a third-party platform to create my shirts. I download the images to the platform. They create my shirts and they ship right out to you. So I don't have to worry about being on delay, doing it myself. I don't have to worry about scheduling that into my already busy planner. I don't have to worry about storing everything in my house because that gets chaotic. So, and I don't have to worry about not being good enough for my clients. Literally, I have t-shirts, hoodies, phone covers, mugs, and I know there's, tote bags and posters, of course, posters. Check out my website for more information. I'm going to be having raffles come in regularly to get you an opportunity to get you a good prize. And if you can, just share with your friends and loved ones. Maybe you know somebody who's wondering about becoming an artist, and whether that's music or painting or culinary, whatever their dream is, send them my way. Maybe my videos will help them. I think that's all I have to say. I hope I didn't take too much of your time. Thanks, guys.